So it's good to follow both Randy and Doug. Doug in particular, who's basically just said that TV's dead. But I think what he said was TV's on the change, and the media landscape has changed in a big way. And we're not going to use the clicker.
Do you want to use this or no?
No.
Okay,
I'm going to point.
Okay.
So VIACOM. So we go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay, so VIACOM International Media Network. So we're principally, you may know us as a TV brand, but actually we're much wider than that. So we're a media production entertainment business. Our principal, biggest part of our business is pay TV. We're in about 600 million homes in the international marketplace in 160 countries, and we provide content in 34 languages. And essentially everything you've heard so far, I agree with. It's really important to us as a media business to ensure that we completely embrace all of the new technologies and trends that are out there. And in particular, a big focus for us and our brands is ensuring that everything that we do is embracing the latest technology, the latest trends, and we're understanding our audience. And I predicted probably 10 years ago now that we would move from an environment of mass media to my media. And I think, again, we've heard that today. There's a lot more engagement in content. Content is now requires a dialogue with an audience. The viewer, the audience, needs to be able to interact with the brand. Now, whether that's a media brand that's creating an iconic show, and many of the brands that we have in our stable of brands are iconic, something from SpongeBob SquarePants through to, a Pimp My Ride, depending on what channel it's on. These are big brands. They already have hundreds of millions of followers or friends within the social media environment. But now what do we do? How do we take that to the next level? And as importantly, how do we start to take the content that we have and create experiences for our brand partners? And certainly agencies like Ogilvy and others that have massive global brands that want to get their product in front of our audience, which is essentially the millennial audience that are always on, always connected. As we've heard already, I totally agree that the first screen really now is what you could deem in the past as the second screen. It's that always in your pocket, always connected device. How do we deal with that as a media company? So essentially, and if we go on to the next slide, this is the most simple slide you're going to see today. But essentially, the principle of everything we do is about research. No media organization in the world knows the audience better than we do. We spend so much of our time and effort, whether it's our brand solutions agency or our individual channel brands or our media brands. Research is the key to everything we do. We have to understand that millennial audience, of which today there's around 3.4 billion millennials. So that's really the accessible audience that we're focusing in on. That's almost $1 trillion of potential revenue in the United States of America alone. So this is a big audience. And as I've said already, they're always on, always connected. The old school, call it water cooler moment when you've watched, say, a Pimp My Ride or a Jersey Shore was the next day. It was when you would get to see your friends either in school or college or in the workplace. That's completely gone now. It's all about the digital water cooler moment or the social media moment, always on. We find that a lot of our fans of our shows are wanting to be able to create a badge of honor. So again, we've heard already about gamification. We've heard about connecting whilst something is on air. That's super important for our audience, where we've got a very young, impressionable audience that really want to be able to say, hey, I'm really cool. I already know about what's going to be on the next awards show, or my favorite artist is going to be on an MTV channel, or I love SpongeBob and so do 30 million other people on Facebook, for example. So I think that's really important to understand as a media owner and as a publisher. Social TV has become one of the fundamental, most important pieces of my day job, which is essentially ensuring that our audiences can consume our content on every platform. Now, we're principally in the pay TV environment. Our content needs to be accessible everywhere, all the time. But as a business, we need to ensure that that content is available in an environment where we can create revenue so we can create more great, compelling content. And we spend well over $1 billion a year on content. So it's really important for us to make sure that we're able to pay everyone in the ecosystem. So engaging those audiences in a 360 manner is key. Everything we do is 360. Every single piece of content has to be available in some way on every platform. And the main reason is that's where the millennial audience is. But also, to underscore what Doug said, we have to be there because our brand partners expect us to be there on every platform. They want us to be able to provide brand engagement. They don't simply want us to be able to provide a TV spot. That's really important and gives you mass reach and still is one of the best ways of delivering a campaign. But they also expect us to be able to provide engagement on every platform. And some of those platforms could be, and you've seen some examples, which was really good to see there, gamification, connectivity, Facebook, Twitter, all those different platforms is super important. Okay, I'm getting the nod to speed up. So why don't we go to the next slide, which is actually a video around our EMA music event, which is essentially a typical event where we have call it a physical event with television, online, gamification, social media, and then we create a mass of interest which has to be in the build-up to the event, during the event, and then post-event. So if we run the video is this amazing video of one of our massive award shows, and you see lots of artists doing amazing things, and you see, let's take away 3 key things from this amazing video that you all just went, yeah, this is amazing. So the big things are, we have global stars on this show, within the show. We have global music acts. We always pick a presenter or host for the show that's massively engaged in social media. So recent show hosts have included Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber. We pick at the right time that have got the most followers. So you're already talking about 16, 18 million people following those individuals that are presenting the show. Then, of course, we have hundreds of millions of followers on our social media environments. So then the next final slide is how do we embrace all that activity that's happening within the social media environment? So capturing the audience is all about the host, the artists, all of the artists getting behind all their friends that are online, gamification, interactivity during a show with various different technology partners. Engagement, of course, is the social media piece, which is massive. And then the bit that I was going to talk about a little bit longer is brand engagement. How do we turn all that into massive amounts of reach for our brand partners? And that's about being on every platform all the time, connected, and measurement, of course, is really important. I'm going to get thrown off the stage.
Thank you very much, Phillip. Really appreciate it. Cheers.